I'm Kit Morland.
And I study genetics.
And I'm studying maths and physics.
And I study English and Theatre Studies.
I guess I knew from probably when I was still in primary school that I was different in whatever way. Since I was about 8 years old.
I realised about when I was about 14 maybe.
So around the age of 13 I realised there was something different about me and that I had feelings for guys instead of girls.
Just kind of immense confusion. It wasn't even the fact that I wasn't even so sure as to how I felt, I just felt very confused.
So I remember getting the internet when I was a kid, and one of the first things I looked up was women who like other women, and came up with all the pages about it, and from there I kind of went, actually, this is what I am.
I thought that fits. I've just heard this word and you know this makes some sense. This makes me feel a bit more like I understand what's going on a little bit more.
And I could never have admitted it to myself at the time because it was such a conservative environment.
Because you're the same age and grew up in the same village, therefore you are all the same and you're really not.
At a young age you feel like you couldn't tell them things and you just feel totally alone. Like your friends and the family, you feel they don't really know who you are.
Even my best friend, who I knew for like 3 years, I was really afraid of coming out to her, even though I knew that she wouldn't care.
Yeah, you worry about what people think about you and if anyone judges you for it, or if they aren't equal towards you. It's always a big worry.
It's the fear that you're not going to be accepted when you tell people kind of what you're into. Like, it doesn't really change who you are, it's just kind of one of your preferences.
It's not that you want to fall in love in high school or say primary school, you just want friends.
But if they thought that I could see them in a romantic way, then they wouldn't be able to see me in the same way that it was, even though the fact that I'm telling them wouldn't change anything about the friendship.
I guess that people who were close friends might change the way they reacted around you.
Because I used to be friends with like a big group of straight boys, and they would talk about girls and stuff like that, and I'd be like,
Fears were that your friends people would ridicule you.
Especially if you do things like rugby, the army, that kind of thing. You might feel emasculated if it comes out, because you're treated differently.
And from that point on I always tried to be the man, don't ever let anything slip.
So I just kind of put it to the back of my head, I guess, and I guess I presumed that was the way I was always going to go through life, just pretending to be someone that I actually wasn't.
High school was tough. It absolutely sucked.
I couldn't change in the same changing room as other women. Like PE became a very big issue for me.
Biggest difficulty I had in high school was probably just not being myself.
It was hard to get up every day. It was just a constant struggle, and you know, when you're in that situation you don't think it's going to get better, you just think it's going to be like this for the rest of your life.
People get surprised if you don't always feel so happy and you do feel alone and you do feel sad, and it's sometimes hard to even admit to yourself sometimes the way you feel.
Bullying for me was kind of like being in a wave machine or just being in a river, constantly fighting against you, having to kind of swim against the current to stay where you are.
You're hiding something about yourself. You're just not allowing yourself to be who you are.
It's like pulling something from inside you that you've had for so long.
And I was the weird kid that came from Hong Kong.
I thought that people would stop loving me. I thought that I would be alone.
My dad always said that every time he saw me go on the school bus, he would always just silently pray that somebody would sit next to me, because no one sat next to me. Because sitting next to me meant that you were gay, and it was really bad to be gay.
I guess being gay was one of those things that you weren't at school.
I couldn't go a single day without being called a fag. Then it got to the point where in the changing rooms I got a bottle of water poured over me and hit about a bit.
I went, I'm not making enough effort, I'm not a good enough person, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not going to get the grades.
I remember saying if they were right, I would kill myself because I would rather be dead than they'd be right. That was a weird thing to say at the age of 12.
I was drinking a lot, and it got to the point where one night I just couldn't take it anymore, and I actually drank half a bottle of vodka and tried to kill myself. And I didn't know it at the time, but the best thing that ever happened to me was that I woke up the next day.
So I started to come out to some of my close friends at first.
Me, I always felt the most important thing was to be really honest. And
probably the best one was coming out to my gran.
The first person I came out to was my cousin when I was 15.
When my mum found out I was bi, her reaction was Typical Robert. He can never make a decision.
She just hugged me and she said, "I love you, and it doesn't matter to me at all, about that at all. You're my grandson, and I love you for everything you are."
In one of the practices, one of the A-team players came down to me and he said he was so proud of me, and it meant so much to me to get the recognition from the club.
But I chose to say to my mum, because it was an awkward conversation, I just said, "I've got a girlfriend and I'm really happy."
I realised that I'd met some great friends here, people who held me in quite high regard as well, and I kind of came to the realisation that that if I were gay, if I came out as gay, it wouldn't change their opinion of me at all.
And that was that, and that's how my family dealt with it. They've never labelled me as anything.
My ultimate goal would be to be an ambassador in the UN for Amnesty International.
I really want to, keep working really hard. I want to graduate with a first-class degree.
To get to where I want to be in terms of my degree and work.
I just want to be happy myself, and I feel like I'm getting there.
I really want to go into health psychology. I'm really interested in helping other people.
So I want to cure genetic diseases and be this superwoman.
I hope to achieve everything that I want to achieve. I hope to be happy someday with someone that I love.
Falling in love, I just got a shiver.
To love and be loved. Oh, it's just perfect. It's just perfect.
You think sometimes people sometimes say, "Well, I think I might be in love with him or her. I think I might be loving stuff," but there's no think about it. You just know when you are.
We can get married, we can live together, we can have children, and we can have that life together.
You feel like the best version of yourself when you're in that person's company.
I think that's part of the reason I came out, is because I realised that if I'd stayed in the closet, something like that might never happen.
I'm glad I've been able to fall in love, and I'm glad that I've met really good friends. I'm glad that I've made my life in the future better.
It's so exciting because I've got all that to look forward to.
There's always better times ahead. It's easy to get bogged down, feel lost, lonely, as if there's no point to anything you're doing.
And there are some real losers that are causing you hassle.
People, if they are harassing you or bullying you now, they will change.
It's the 21st century, it's uncool to be homophobic. That is the genuine truth.
You're not in any way a second-class citizen. Don't let anybody treat you like that.
The insecurity and the not believing in yourself, that's the ugliness, not you.
Just to remember that you're worth so much, and like so much more than you can ever pin on yourself.
I think that's a really big achievement, just being able to build up the courage to love yourself and accept yourself, and then express that you're different.
You are beautiful. So beautiful.
You are worthy. You are important. You're made for better things. You were born for better things.
Because there's so many reasons to stick around.
It gets better at Glasgow Uni.
It has for the last 7 years for me, and if you come here, it will do for you as well.
It gets better in Glasgow.
Yeah, people just really accepting. I feel great in the city. I've never felt this accepted.
It gets so much better.
It definitely gets better at Glasgow University.
Oh, thanks, brilliant. I think it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
It gets better in Glasgow.
Things do change, and new people appear in your life, and your life does change very rapidly.
An amazing 5 years at uni, and hopefully an amazing however many years for the rest of your life.
Definitely gets better. Everything gets better.
It gets better at Glasgow University.
Definitely gets better at Glasgow. Everything gets better. Just need some patience.
Oh, it so gets better. And the sex is really good.
If you want it to be, it can be such a great thing being gay. Like, it's fantastic.
It gets so much better at Glasgow. Come to Glasgow.
It gets... No, I can't. It gets better at Glasgow Uni.